Hello, hello, and welcome back as I rally up a rabble of rabid torch and pitchfork-wielding heroes to venture down into the creepy corridors of Perfidious Manor and burn a witch in Darkest Dungeon. And yes, setting witches on fire doesn't really seem like the most heroic thing to do, and sure, burning some poor peasant at the stake really doesn't seem like a, fairly embraceable practice. I mean, it's pretty reprehensible. But, what if they really deserve it? Think about it for a second. What if they went all Blair Witch or something? And when I say that, please don't misunderstand. I'm not talking about killing 3 college students named Heather, Mike, and Josh. I'm totally cool with ruthlessly butchering those 3 tools. They deserved it. Some annoying college kids show up on your property, unannounced and without permission, taping themselves, wandering around the fucking forest like a bunch of assholes. You know what? Go ahead and chop them up for whatever's in their pockets and then bury them in the basement. That's cool. Nobody's gonna miss them. Nobody. But, and this is what I mean when I've mentioned going all Blair Witch, what if after you murder them, you edit the film they shot into a shitty found footage movie, take the only interesting 60 seconds of the entire thing and use it as the trailer, and then market the ever-loving shit out of that abominable turd for the next 6 months? I mean, a person like that, yeah, I'm sorry, you gotta go. Honestly, I think maybe cleansing you from the earth with fire might be letting you off too easy. Burning you at the stake might not be what you deserve. You deserve worse, trust me. Anyway, that's enough firing shots at the old Blair Witch Project, because really I don't think the world has enough bullets to give it the amount of ammo it requires anyhow. That movie's shit. But we've got a witch to kill, a regular witch. We're going to go after the old Weisentag here. It's been on our to-do list for some time, and assuming the Weisentag is available, she is, right? So we've got a medium-length mission to kill the Weisentag, and we're going to grab pretty much the best of the best here. We got to get old Soups. I mean, if we're going to burn someone at the stake, Superman really does seem like the kind of guy who would probably be totally cool with doing it. We're going to flip these around a little bit. Oh, they have a different name when in different slots, huh? Okay, well, I mean, it's weird, is what it is, but, I mean, it's the usual suspects this way, but this way it's Red Hook. Okay. I guess if Kevin Spacey is not necessarily the one playing verbal Kint, it just doesn't work. It's not the usual suspects. If you switch Kevin Spacey and Gabriel Byrne in those roles, it just doesn't work. We got a Dark Tambourine, 12% death blow resist. Bonus stress damage if the torch is below 26%, and why is this good? Someone please explain this to me. I mean, it makes the Jester harder to kill, but he's gonna be just freaked out and shitting himself all the time. I guess for a stress relief Jester, like a dedicated stress reduction Jester, it wouldn't be terrible. Maybe Robbie Baldwin can do that for us, because it seems like the role he's gonna be trying to play for old Emil Blonsky. I really would like to try and find a way to use the Abomination, but I don't think it's gonna be viable until we get an Occultist. Anyway, Hag still needs dead. Let's get to work here. We do have the first time, yeah, okay, we know how the camping mechanic works, it's fine. And, we're gonna need some food here. It's a long trek down to the witch, and of course we can't take pitchfork and torches to burn the witch unless we have a pitchfork and torches. I'm thinking 2 full stacks is probably gonna be adequate. We've got our free anti-venom from the Plague Doctor and a free holy water from, I wonder if that's the Vestal or the Crusader who does that. I'm not sure. We're going to grab 3 shovels as well as a key, some medicinal herbs, probably a bandage. This, we should, you know what, we got to bring more food. Let's go ahead and take 2 full stacks of food. We're just going to take all the food that's available because we will burn quite a bit of that camping. Pretty hefty outlay on the provisions here, but I mean, come on, man. We got to prevent the Blair Witch from being released. We're going to go back in time machine style, and we're going to stop that shit.
Enjoy several weeks immersed in comfortable study.
There's no comfortably studying the Blair Witch Project, sir. I'm sorry. It's 145 minutes, and I mean that's almost 2 hours of your life that you're never going to get back, and you'll never be the same. Don't do it. If you're out there, don't do it. Don't watch the Blair Witch Project. So the witch should be here. The witch, or when you're doing these hunt missions, the target of the hunt is almost always in the room furthest from the dungeon entrance. Or at least the last time I played, that was the case. So I'm going to guess that we need to go to this room. Every other room is 4 or less. This one is actually 5. So that's going to be my initial search target. We're just going to make a beeline for that room, kill the witch, and then if we have an opportunity or time or supplies, what we might do is do a little, like, subsequent exploration and camping once the bitch be dead, yo. I mean, if we drop a house on her right quick and steal her ruby slippers, then I don't really see any huge disadvantage to maybe poking around the Wonderland or Oz, or I guess it was Oz. Take any disadvantage to poking around Oz for a little bit. This is interesting. You know, I'm tempted to not use the shovel because what if we run into a bunch of barriers, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. All things considered, that was probably not worth it. Jade and citrine are two things I would be mostly inclined to throw on a floor. If something better comes along, I will pitch them on a floor. And here's our first fight, and it's bandits, which... okay, not great. So we can straight up shoot you, and this does respectable damage. It's not going to get a kill here, but it could put a hurting on this guy. We really have to worry about blanket fire, because this does a lot of... Ooh, beautifully dodged. Although I'm not sure that was actually dodged, since it very clearly missed. That guy fired wildly in the sky, and I think perhaps his weapon might have malfunctioned and maybe exploded. Not sure what's going on there. I don't think we can take credit for that as an actual dodge. I really don't. How much health have you got? Yeah, I mean, you're taking 4 damage. How much health have you got? You have 5, so we got to do 1 more damage to avoid another blanket fire. I'm okay with just straight up, well, we can just not even worry about the blight and just straight up turn you into what appears to be a severed torso. Oh, it's resting on its rib cage, man. That's kind of gross. We definitely should have bought different skills for Soups here. I mean, despite the... Okay, he has terrible skill outlay, but Clark Kent is still holding shit down. I mean, he's probably going to throw a World of Cardboard speech at us at any moment. Just prepare yourself, guys. It's going to happen. He's going to tell us all about the World of Cardboard, even though none of us give a single shit about his World of Cardboard. Let's throw a bleed at this big bandit as well. I really don't want to take a rain of whips and get a, like, sort of group-wide bleed, and Soups with the big shot. That should be enough to bring him down. You're taking 4. What do you got left there, champ? You got 6. It's actually not enough to bring him down. Alright, so, man, okay, the Plague Doctor got 4 damage out of it. I was about to be a little salty about the fact that our Plague Doctor hasn't done anything. These dodges we're getting, though, are insane. Who would have thought that Superman would even know how to dodge? When you're invulnerable to all harm, why would you even bother dodging? It just seems foolhardy. I think we'll go ahead and throw a curative at Soups. This bandit is dead. We don't have to do anything to kill that man. He's just gonna die. It's all done. He's got kryptonite blood poisoning or something. Like, tried to drink Superman's blood to gain his power, I guess, and get kryptonite poisoning. It seems like the kind of thing that might happen in a Superman book. I would love to pick up this portrait, and we're gonna have a slot to do that in a second when I use this key, but... Alright, well, the citrine's gonna go. I would rather have a portrait than 250 gold, as strange as that may sound. I really think the portrait is more worthwhile. We'll use the key here, 775 gold and another jade, which is fantastic, because that's gonna stack up. That's good. Adventure continues, on towards the hag, guys. Okay, well, it looks like old Poison Ivy's gonna root around in a moldering old corpse. Yep, and you got diseased by the remains. And, well, fortunately, I mean, you can't... Really, that's your trap there, guys? You put a bunch of disease in a rotting mummy corpse? Did you really think Poison Ivy was going to be vulnerable? I mean, that would be the ultimate getting hoisted on your own petard if Poison Ivy got some kind of, like, you know, disease vector. I mean, it's like her thing, man. You don't try and kill Poison Ivy with her own shtick. She's better at it than you are. Solid aggregate damage from the bat, throwing the old batarang there and getting some work done. We're not going to be able to hit more than one target with this. I think we just go ahead and throw it at the lead guy. That should be enough to kill him. It absolutely is. We'll pick off this dude in the back. Man, Wonder Woman is dropping some fucking shield-based bombs back there. That guy's dropping dead. Here comes the slime taking a poke at Wonder Woman. Alright, well, I mean, that was not necessarily a wondrous outcome, but still, all things considered, a very effective fight. We took 5 damage and got a clear victory. Scouting as well, which is very nice. Secret rooms. A critical scouting success will sometimes reveal a secret room. Advance to the tile marked with a star and press W or click to enter. Fabulous wealth and witches await those equipped with a key. Well, I'm very much regretting having used my only key then, aren't I? That's shitty. Yeah. Alright, well, I guess we'll just open this chest. And we're bleeding. do I want to use... You know what? Honestly, I don't think we really have to worry about the bandages. I'm intrigued by this whole secret room mechanic. This is very clearly something new that I have not encountered before, and also possibly a reason to carry more keys into the dungeon than I'm usually used to. Yeah, we're going to leave that beast carcass. No medicinal herbs rolling with them, so there's no real reason to investigate. This room is going to be empty, according to... Yep, alright, that's fine. Let's continue on. So we know there is a secret room here. But we don't have a key, so we can't do... Hold on a second. Yeah, okay, so... We can't do anything with this, though, right? An ancient artifact. A chest untouched for centuries. There's a locked compartment on the side of it. What if I just do this? Someone left behind quite a stash. So we found 750 gold and onyx, which I'm guessing is not what we should have found. We probably should have got something vastly better than that, would be my suspicion. If we had had a key, we would have definitely gotten like a better reward. So what's our trap chance to disarm this trap? Shouldn't we be able to hover over the trap and see? Well, that's not actually... Wait a minute.
Ambushed by foul invention.
Yeah, I'm going to call that one straight up ambushed by foul invention, Mr. Narrator. Very well. I was actually trying to mouse over it to see what my chances are, and it wouldn't show me my chances, so I assumed it was one tile further down the hallway, but more the sucker me, because it was definitely right to shit on. Alright, feeling a little salty there. It's fine. We're running into the mastermind behind the Blair Witch Project. We really should have expected some fairly significant resistance, admittedly. Right, here comes a shovel action. Yeah, your skin is fine. It's... Your skin burns. Haha, very funny, Clark Kent. I mean, we all believe that you're totally human and absolutely not an invulnerable Superman. No, we're on board. Your act is just unbelievably convincing, Clark. We're all be like, man, he's just a regular down-to-earth reporter for the old Metropolitan newspaper. I don't even remember what the hell... Was it the Daily Planet, I think is the name of the magazine, newspaper, whatever that Superman works for? Also, with the new Superman movies, don't you guys really... I mean, this is just my opinion here, but don't you really think they had to change Superman's job? Newspapers aren't really... They're like not a thing anymore, right? I mean, by and large, they don't really exist. They're done. Newspapers are over. That particular brand of media is just dead. You're not coming out of college, and I mean, at least I hope this isn't your plan, and no offense to anyone who may be planning this, but perhaps consider my humble advice of reconsidering. Is it your plan to be like coming out of college with a journalism degree and be like, I'm gonna go write for a newspaper? Because there are really like 5 newspapers left in the entire country. You have effectively the Washington Post, the LA Times, the New York Times, and maybe like the Chicago Tribune I might give you, but that's it, really. That's all you got. That's all she wrote. There are like 5 newspapers, and you gotta work for one of those. Wall Street Journal, perhaps. Or if you're across the pond, I mean, I guess you could work for the Guardian or the Sun, because for whatever reason, newspapers seem unusually popular over there. We should get rid of something. You know what we'll do? Let's just eat this food. We'll make room on our inventory with a little conspicuous eatery. So there we go. And we'll take those busts, because the busts are useful. Batman's been aces so far in opening shit, and his luck continues to roll. Man, nobody is fooling the greatest detective in Gotham. He's just like, hey, you're not gonna trick me. I'm the greatest detective in Gotham. I know what's in this box. Still got plenty of food. Hunger prompt, Alright, so we got surprise again. Man! Our proclivity to get surprise and whatnot, we've been very fortunate so far in this dungeon. We've gotten not only some great rolls and positive outcomes, but we've been real lucky. Yeah, it's part and parcel of the old Darkest Dungeon experience. My concern, and that's the first time we've had a plague shot get resisted, by the way. Just throwing that out there. But my whole concern with the Darkest Dungeon is, what if that luck suddenly goes the other way? What if... Is that still a thing? I mean, is minimizing the bad luck still sort of the generalized strategy for Darkest Dungeon? It's just trying to figure out how to minimize bad luck to keep bad things from happening to you? Or is it just completely unavoidable? Because the last version I played, that was sort of a thing. Sometimes you would just get so despicably unlucky that even your brightest and best, your most talented, just didn't have the soup that you needed to survive a mission. So far in the revamp, it seems it seems like you can minimize the bad luck fairly effectively to keep it to a minimum, mostly by just bringing in torches. Torches seem to be sort of the way to go. Bonus scouting, bonus chance to surprise monsters. Monsters have no advantage as long as your torchlight is high. And here's the old hag. Alright, how's it going, baby? What's in the pot? What's in his old soup there? You know, the tracking shot might be good. Plus 12 damage, plus 6 accuracy, plus 5% crit. You know what? This is gonna be a longish fight. I honestly think tracking shot is probably worthwhile to take here. Let's just go ahead and, are you, like, hugely resistant to blight? Well, you're almost entirely resistant to blight, which is bad. Stuns? Completely resistant. Maybe we shouldn't have brought a plague doctor. We actually got a blight off, though, remarkably. Alright, well, a little bit of long-distance lightning from Wonder Woman calling down the fury of the heavens. Clark Kent has done us a pretty good turn so far, but unfortunately this is going to be sort of where Clark's usefulness ends. I really think we should just Bulwark of Faith here. Let's see if we can get her to swing exclusively at Clark Kent and make him as difficult to damage as possible. Or alternatively, just pitch him in the pot. That'd be fine too. Toss him in a stew pot, hag. Alright, she's not listening. She's not tossing him in a pot. 12 damage from the bat. That batarang did some work for us. Alright, Poison Ivy's going into the pot. It's a little unfortunate. Wonder Woman taking a very disagreeable dodge there. You don't want to be eaten. I mean, chill out, Poison Ivy. You may just be overreacting a little. So let's go for the mark again. It seems like we're just getting an AoE shot at us over and over anyway. Yeah, I'm boiling. It's fine, you'll come out of the pot. When you come out of the pot, Wonder Woman will patch you up. Never fear. You went into the pot with full health. I mean, shit, it's just a vicious, vicious third-degree burns over your entire body except for your arms. When we're done, we'll get you some skin grafts. It'll be fine. I mean, it's going to hurt like hell, and the scarring is going to be just atrocious, but still, you know, just settle down a little. I really wish Superman could do... We might as well have Soups hit the pot, really. There's no disadvantage to trying to pull... What else are we going to have him do? The self-buff thing is pointless. It makes him take less damage. That's really all it's accomplishing at the moment. Oh, Wonder Woman dropping the furious thunder of the gods and the Amazonians. Man, Hippolyta is going to be really pleased with how that one turned out. She's going to be like, man, my daughter done good. She's really bringing the pain. Alright, Clark Kent getting seasoned to perfection. Let's hope there was no kryptonite in those seasonings. It's the only thing that could possibly stop Superman. 4 damage from Wonder Woman is not enough. 2 more damage for Poison Ivy in the pot. She's at death's door in the pot? Oh, well, that's real shitty. Well, we can't have you do anything useful, so let's mark the target and hope that she doesn't get a go again and Poison Ivy dies. We're probably boned. Nope, she held on. Little Pamela Isley. Alright, Batman, you gotta save Poison Ivy. I mean, I know it goes counter to everything you hold dear and all of your beliefs, but still, it's gotta be done. Minus 20% chance the party is surprised, minus 1 speed. That's actually really good. You know what? Poison Ivy, why don't you equip that? What is this? A Gambler's Charm. Plus 15% maximum HP, minus 6% death blow resist. That actually seems okay for our Crusader, who's surprisingly resilient anyway. Quest is complete. That's fine. Can we get rid of this debuff by camping? No, it lasts until the end of the quest, which is real shitty. Huge bonus stress damage for Pamela. Big speed penalty. The minus 25% damage thing isn't really a big deal because she only does 1 anyway. The accuracy penalty is a little more significant. I think, you know, this may sound strange, but I actually think we can probably afford to do a little additional exploration here. It doesn't really seem like it's going to have huge drawbacks. Let's just leave that beast carcass alone. Oh, well, shit, we got Pamela walking around on death's door here. I'm an idiot. Eat all of the food you can eat, and we'll try and patch you up if we find another fight. Mostly we're just here looking for treasure, so, I mean, feel free to steal anything that's not nailed down, guys. Superman, I mean, I don't need to tell you twice, I'm sure, kleptomaniac. Who'd have thought Superman would be a thief? I mean, isn't that the kind of thing you're supposed to be thwarting, Soups, aren't you? I mean, you're supposed to be a crime fighter, quote-unquote. Supposed to be stopping dastardly and nefarious deeds like having people steal things. I've seen you literally destroy part of a town to stop a purse snatching. Wrecked like 30 cars, almost killed Parker Posey because somebody stole her purse. I mean, that scene was wholly contrived and honestly terribly executed, and possibly the stupidest part of that film. But, I mean, Superman did do it, and it's not something he can deny. No take backseat soup. We all saw it happen. Can't take it back at the 11th hour. We're not going to buy into it. So we have one hallway fight. If it looks grim, we'll probably just bail out of here. Let's go ahead and get a torch. We need some more inventory slot. We do have enough cash that we recovered our initial expenditures, and we killed the Wizened Hag. It's anti-venom for old trees? Yes. For the love of God, what is wrong with me? We can't have Poison Ivy doing this shit. That's dangerous and stupid. Also, Superman, what is wrong with you? Why would you let her behave in such a fashion? You know she's in a delicate state here, and yet you'd be like, oh no, it's fine. Go ahead and paw around in the tree. Watch this villain chick's totally gonna die, and I'm gonna laugh. This is not good. Okay, so the madman needs to die. The one thing we've learned about madmen is you kill them as soon as possible because they're gonna do this, and Doomsday really blows. That's quite a bit of stress damage. I think we just straight up kill the guy. Stressful incantation is also bad. Superman's gonna take a little stress damage here. I guess the enemies threatened Lois Lane. It's really the only thing that might theoretically cause Superman stress. Oh, somebody's gonna go fucking steal Lois for the 50 billionth time. You know, if you really cared about Lois Lane, Superman, you just lock her in a box in your Fortress of Solitude. You just never let her leave. You'd be like, I'm sorry, Lois, but people know that I have feelings for you. And I hate to have to go, you know, full Jamie Gum on you and just lock you in a hole. It seems a little discourteous to treat the woman I love that way, but it's got to be done, Lois. It's for your own safety. It's all I can do. Lex Luthor is a brilliant madman who simply won't be stopped by any reasonable discourse or logic. There's nothing I can do. He hates me, and rightfully so, because I'm an abominable piece of trash. And I'm sure it won't be long until you also hate me, Wonder, because, you know, I've got you whole with the locked in the whole thing. We maybe should not have done this. Bruce Wayne now also at death's door, which is equally bad, and we really need to get a heal on the bat here. I don't want to lose Batman to some pointless fight that I only took because I was dumb enough to backtrack. How much health have you got? 4. You're taking 4 from a blight, right? You are. Let's throw a bleed at this guy then. Batman, you may have to save yourself. I think you might have just done it, but just in case, we're gonna at least get you off of death's door. You did not save yourself, so it's good that we got you off death's door, although it looks like the enemy's gonna favor taking a poke at Clark Kent. They'll be the only ones who would favor taking a poke at Clark Kent. Lois Lane wants nothing to do with him because he's a reprehensible piece of scum. I mean, he locked her in a hole in his Fortress of Solitude one time. He's like, oh, I'm doing it for your own good. Just wouldn't let her go. That was a thing. Yeah, let's get some more food in us here. How are we doing on food? You know, we still have plenty. Let's eat. Let's everybody chow down. I think we'll have everybody eat to their fill, and then we'll keep 4. We haven't camped. Probably should have saved some of that food for stress reduction on camping. And you know what? Maybe we just fight this fight in this room and camp in here. I should have burned a torch. Oh, I can burn a torch while moving. That's really cool. I wonder if it actually did anything, or if it just made me, like, sort of feel like I did something, and when the fight started, it still started with exactly the way it would have been at the end of the fight. Throwing blight at these guys is probably not going to be especially useful, although it surprisingly worked out there. Nobody critical hits Superman. He's goddamn Superman. Man he doesn't know the meat. Oh, see, that's what happens. You come at Superman with a little bit of kryptonite, you're just gonna piss him off. He's ultimately always, I mean, it's his one weakness, but he's always gonna find a way around. That's Superman's thing. He finds a way around kryptonite. Even if it's just, you know, get Batman to move it. But you hit him like that, you're just gonna make him mad. And making Superman mad, that's a sucker's gambit. You don't want to do that. You don't want to anger Superman. Because he's a giant douche. He'll kill you. He'll twist your head off like he did that fucking Zod guy. Sure, you'll, you know, get to know the joys of destroying most of Metropolis before he finally decides, oh, well, maybe I should actually do something. But still, it will happen. Solid damage from Wonder Woman and a little bit of healing. Might have actually been better off to go for the group heal, except Superman's all infuriated now, so he's flying off the handle. He's in a foaming rage.
push on to the task's end.
We could pick up some more food. I think, you know what, let's throw this bandage on the floor. Take these medicinal herbs, and I'm going to throw this holy water into this fountain. I think we're going to do this for... Yeah, there we go. 30 stress relief. That is quite nice. Let's go ahead and camp. We can't feast, which is just... That's foolish of me. I should have remembered. Minus 10 stress. I should have remembered that you always want to save enough food to feast, and rather than just gobbling it all up outside this room, I could have got minus 10 stress for everybody. Mistake on my part, admittedly. That was dumb. What camping skills have we got that we could maybe use to reduce some stress? Prevents a nighttime ambush. I mean, that's... If has mortality debuffs, is that this? No. Death door recovery. If has mortality debuffs, heal 50%. If has mortality debuffs, reduce stress by 25. What is a mortality debuff? Is that a debuff you get when somebody dies? Possibly. None of those are stress reduction, though, which is really what we're sort of curious about. None of those are stress reduction. Bandit Sense prevents ambushes, which is good. Bonus chance of surprise, which is not fantastic. We could clean guns. Just somebody's got to have something that relieves stress, right? Zealous speech. There we go. Ah, that's getting it done. So, Superman, I told you guys the World of Cardboard speech was coming out. You didn't believe me. You'd be like, oh no, he's not going to go all World of Cardboard on us. And then, bam, he totally went fucking World of Cardboard on us. I told you. Down to 1 stress for Wonder Woman. What is Stand Tall? Reduces stress by 15. Can you do it to yourself? No. Well, that's unfortunate. Do we have anybody who can do anything to reduce Superman's stress? Guess not. Let's just prevent the ambush then. Actually, you know what? Screw that. Let's just leave. Oh, can we not do that anymore? Ah, so that's something. You have to risk the ambush now. What can we do with one time? Self only. Remove target disease. Wait a minute. We cured... Well, that was entirely accidental, but totally fortunate, because rabies, turns out, was not great for Pamela Isley. Since most of her damage is blight-based, she was really just taking an accuracy penalty. That's actually a really good ability. That saved us, like, 750 gold right there. That's sweet. Alright, well, let's rest then. That was totally worth the time. This was worth camping if for nothing else. We're out of firewood. We must steel ourselves for a push to the end. That's not grim enough for you, Batman. Shouldn't you be saying something like, we're out of firewood and hockey pads? I mean, that really seems more appropriate, Bruce. And now we're done. And we could explore some more of the dungeon, but considering that overall we have stress relief from this mission, I don't really feel like pushing my luck or tempting fate. This has actually gone pretty well. We came what we did to do. We burned a witch. We saved the people from having to watch the Blair Witch Project again. Even if we did get sort of a mediocre trinket. And you know what? It's beyond sort of mediocre. It seems kind of crummy. Still, look at the heirlooms we got. 6 deeds, 4 crest, 4,500 gold. We hauled 5,000 out of the dungeon, which is pretty sweet. We also picked up a portrait, some deeds, some extra crests, and bust. So, a pretty solid haul. What disease do you have, Superman? I mean, aren't you supposed to be invulnerable to disease? Oh, well, you have it now. You picked up syphilis. Okay, I'm going to guess from Lois Lane, then. Or, well, you know, we say that, but Wonder Woman is on the mission, and she does have a notoriously nasty gash. That's a thing. You know what? It's got to be Wonder Woman. Also, if Jason Lee taught us anything, it's that only Wonder Woman has a strong enough uterus to carry Superman's child. Otherwise, Lois will get a suntan, and the kid will kick right through her stomach. 20% weapon upgrades cost. That's actually really good. It replaced Lurker, which was shitty. That's fantastic. Ruins Adventure, fragile, terrible, actually. Man, Clark Kent got all jacked up. He must have got some of that kryptonite. Also fragile for Poison Ivy. I'm going to guess due to the skin grafts necessary based on the fact that she got boiled in a pot for like an hour. Unfortunate, but again, none of those things are earth-shattering or rending. They're not going to destroy us. Looks like the Taskmaster and Captain America got a little natural stress relief, which is fine. Catherine Bishop. So Ghetto Hawkeye has cured the egg, and Mercedes Knight is no longer tuckered out. That's good. Let's head to the Sanitarium, because we've got some stuff we should really sort of start working on. Fragile is real shitty for Superman. Also, just completely inappropriate. I think we We need to get rid of that, but honestly, we should probably cure the syphilis first, because it's just fantastically worse. It's fragile, except also worse. So, yeah, Soups, go, I mean, just get some simple penicillin shots. We're going to get rid of your syphilis. Again, Wonder Woman, eye on you. I may have to report you to the CDC as a potential health hazard. You have to tell your partners before you engage in activity if you've got a sexually transmitted infection, Wonder Woman. Very unheroic of you to infect Soups with the syphilis, with your nasty gash. Necromania is not a big deal. Scattering, it's not terrible. Slow reflexes is -1 speed. I don't give a shit about that. Gambler and zoophobia. Stress eater. Stress eater is actually kind of terrible. Catherine Bishop also has rabies, which I'm actually okay with her having rabies because of the damage bonus. But the stress eater, it's going to cost a fortune to get rid of. Steve Rogers, you have lagophobia, which is not a problem. You're also fragile. Man, all of our most stalwart heroes, for whatever reason, are decidedly delicate. I have to assume it's like an emotional fragility. Like, Steve is still a little broken up over the whole Bucky thing. He's I mean, sure, he named his dog Bucky in honor of his friend, but he really, like, misses him, and I'm assuming it's an emotional fragility. It's the only thing that makes sense. Taskmaster is sickly because, well, that might just be from repeatedly having his ass kicked. Also claustrophobic. Known cheat and ruminator. See, these are the kind of things we actually want. Poison Ivy, didn't you picked up Fragile, which I suppose is worth at least considering getting rid of. Shocker, Enlightened. None of this stuff is particularly dangerous. I guess we may as well get rid of Fragile. Why is this so expensive suddenly? Is it because we're rank 3? As our troopers get more expensive, does this get more... Does getting rid of their shit also get more expensive? Because if it does, we may just keep that. For 2,250 gold, we may just stay Fragile. I mean, what's Fragile actually costing us? It's costing us 3 health. Is that 3 health worth that kind of gold output? I'm not entirely convinced that it is. You know what, Pamela Isley? I'm just going to leave you Fragile and hope that you're smart enough to stop wandering around in what basically constitutes a leaf bikini and maybe put on some actual armor. Seems like you'd be less fragile if you wore some clothes. Alright, well, we've got to get another healer. I really want an occultist. I'm sort of saving a roster spot, in fact, for an occultist, but we'll have to do something with Osmont. Wait, do you have, like, just trash water abilities? You won't drink, and you won't pray or flagellate for stress relief. There's not really a lot we can do. I guess you'll be meditating. Yeah, okay, you are a meditator, which I suppose makes sense then. Your abilities are not brilliant, but that's fine. I think you'll still make a fine addition to the team. I'm not interested in a man-at-arms or grave robber. I might take another arbalist, though. You know what? No, not right now. Not right now. I think we're okay for the nonce. We've got a reasonable enough team that we can send into the dungeon. Let's hold off on this. I really, really do want to get another... I need an occultist. Mostly because I want to build a team that has the abomination in it. And I think in order to make a team that actually works, we're going to need a jester, an abomination, and a cultist. And then we can have like a floating, sort of rotating 4th member. Yeah. Do we have any trinkets that we want to sell? Let's go to the Nomad Dragon really quick. This is something they added. You can actually sell trinkets now. I definitely don't want to upgrade it. Is there anything we want to get rid of? I mean, the Jester's Tambourine we should just straight up give to... Might as well give that to old Robbie Baldwin there. Have we got anything else we need to equip? Garbage. Not garbage. +2 crit's actually pretty good. Is Batman wearing... He's wearing nut. Yeah, alright. So let's throw that on the bat then. Move resistance for speed. Blight skill chance. We only have 1 Plague Doctor, and they're already totally... I think we'll sell this. How do we do that? Hold shift to sell trinkets. Why, thank you. There we go. Oh, trinkets are actually quite valuable. Vengeful Greaves. Are we already wearing a pair of those, I believe? Actually, we're wearing something considerably better, but we might hang on to those in case we pick up another Arbalest. Mercedes Knight. Do you have anything? You do not. What about a bleeding pendant? I mean, it's just good. Bonus bleed chance, right? No reason to not equip that. Debuff skill chance. We don't really have anybody who throws debuffs currently, so I think we'll hold on to that. Stun resistance for dodge. That's just getting sold. Straight up junk. Now, one last thing before we bail on this. We do have some people who need stress relief, right? Electra's a little worried. Ghetto Hawkeye has been better. I think probably Misty Knight needs it more than anybody else, though. So let's send Misty in for a little bit of reduction. What will you do, by the way? You can't gamble. There's really nothing that you're not really interested in doing anything in particular either. Why don't we just let's just have you go drink? That's a thought. What's the cheapest thing we can do? There's the better question. What's the least expensive? All right, 1,000 gold is the least expensive. So let's send Mercedes over and have her tie one on. Go get wasted. That'll be fine. And that's going to be fine for this episode as well. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Of course, your support does really mean a lot to us. And if you'd like to hear me complain about how much I hate Superman on a regular basis, you might consider subscribing as well. Post new episodes of Darkest Dungeon every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and complaining about Superman being a terrible character. Pretty common. Pretty common. Right now, however, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.